Socceroos consigned to playoffs as Japan secure World Cup berth with win. Stadium Australia has been the site for many of the Socceroos' most celebrated moments. Be it Josh Kennedy's towering header to defeat Iraq and secure progression to the 2014 World Cup or Mile Jedinak's captain's hat trick against Honduras in the 2018 World Cup qualification playoffs. Or, of course, John Aloisi's famous penalty that dispatched Uruguay and ended the nation's long, 32-year absence from football's grandest stage. Stadium Australia has so often proved to be Australian football's field of dreams. In other words, one could not have picked a better venue for a Socceroos fixture which carried all the hallmarks of a cliched Hollywood epic. An outmanned and outgunned host nation with their backs to the wall fighting to defy the odds in a manner nobody expected them to. Arnold had leaned into the narrative by declaring his side needed to fight against their foes, and assistant coach Rene Meulenstein filling in on pre-match media duties as Arnold completed another COVID isolation period, joined in on the bromides when he declared that, more than anything, courage will win us the game. It was all very stirring. But courage does not win you football games. Goals do. And on Thursday evening, the Socceroos' hopes were dashed by Kaoru Mitoma's 89th-minute strike and subsequent winding run and the 94th-minute sealer that popped out of Matt Ryan's hand and rolled, slowly, into the back of the net. Perhaps it was fitting that effort, as well as Mickey Yamani's cutback to find Mitoma for his first, seemingly took an age, to slowly slide across the wet surface at Stadium Australia. Plenty of time to reflect on a result that has now served to deliver a coup de grace to the Socceroos' hopes of automatic qualification for the World Cup that, almost as part of a collective coping exercise, had long since been discarded by the majority of the 41,852 fans who had made their way to Homebush. Though controversy will dog the decision to disallow a 25th-minute own goal which would have given Australia the lead for a foul on goalkeeper Shikichi Ganda, it was indicative that the hosts only really looked capable of doing any damage from set pieces. On another night, perhaps one in which Takumi Minamino has his radar on, the Japanese could have had another 4 or 5. Australia started looking devoid of ideas and, by the end of the contest, had exhausted even those. Regardless of what the Socceroos are able to accomplish in Saudi Arabia next week, they will be forced to qualify for a 5th straight World Cup through the gauntlet of the Asian and then the Intercontinental Playoff. It was a path they also had to tread to qualify for the 2018 tournament in Russia. Unlike that campaign, though, it will not be a two-legged playoff against a North or Central American nation that awaits them, but, instead, a one-legged, do-or-die clash against a country from the powerhouse that is South America. CONMEBOL's playoffs will also end in the coming days, but, as it presently stands, that opponent would be 2018 World Cup opponents Peru. Or perhaps it will currently be 6th-place Chile or even, just to add to the whole strangely scripted vibe the Socceroos campaign has come to possess, old foes Uruguay. Before then, however, they will need to defeat the 3rd-placed finisher from Asia's other qualifying group, presently the United Arab Emirates, and that in and of itself will be no sure thing. But whoever they face, they will certainly need to fashion some sort of inspiration. As while Japan can't be said to have played free-flowing, swashbuckling football, they were still able to win more territory and create more chances than their counterparts. The Socceroos were, it must be acknowledged, heavily undermanned, but that alone cannot explain away Thursday night's uninspiring performance.